Lala. All right. So who is this person? I am your royal flyness. You know who I am? And who are you, Lala? You're from New Jersey. Yeah, middle still finger. Now where are you from? Are you from Boston? It is kind of like Boston without an attitude because the city is small. Um, it seems like downtown is concentrated, and then you have like the greater area surrounding it. It's very similar to Boston, So like I was born and raised in the Boston area, and I moved all around, so I know Boston very very well. Oh, okay, all right. Beantown representative. That's cool. That's cool. That's what's up. Now, I'm from the Boston area. I'm actually born and raised in Lynn. But my parents, well, my mother was born and raised in Roxbury, you know. So I know all about Boston, Bobby Brown, New Edition. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Taz, you know we're gonna do. See, but the best place to do Boston, and I know for a fact, is on a college campus. So if we don't do BU, it has to be at Emerson. It has to be at one of those spots because those colleges, Boston actually, for you guys who don't know, Boston has the most colleges than any other city in the U.S. I think there's over 200 colleges in Boston. Like I know just in Boston by itself, just in that area, you have BU, you have Simmons, you have Emerson. I think a couple of those are all female schools or mostly female. You have Wellesley, you have Wheelock, you have a lot of these little liberal arts schools who are killing it. And Fenway Park is right there. I see you, Don Willie. Hey, I'm a Red Sox fan, so wherever I go in New York, I don't yell that too loud though. So I'm not trying to get jumped. But BC, yeah, BC has a lot of females. I used to live in Waltham too. I lived in Waltham for a little bit. Waltham is in the suburbs, but it's like right on the other side of Boston. It's like you go west a little bit. And I never kicked it with any females from BC. I kicked it with a bunch of females from BU though. BU, yeah, BU, Emerson, and Simmons were like the main ones that had all the fly females. So, but yeah, yes sir, Lin City of Sin, man. So yeah, so Stephanie ain't really saying nothing, Joe Cool. I don't know what it is. Someone private message Stephanie, see what's cracking. I don't know. And the princess ain't said nothing either, man. The princess came in here saying, "Who is this?" and she's just kind of lurking now. What's cracking? So uh, yo, Middle Steel. Don't even talk about Bentley, man. I've had, dude, and Brandeis. I kicked it with. There were actually a couple of black females from Brandeis that I kicked it with. I'm not even gonna name them by name because, matter of fact, I shouldn't have even said that because there were only like three on campus. So, so you know. So yeah. So all right. First time traveler to Canada. What place would you recommend for single fellas? I think Young Swab is or was in here. If you go to Canada, if you're just trying to meet some ladies, and Renee, you could chime in on this. I would say anywhere around Young Street. You have that mall. What is that mall? The Eaton Center. The Eaton Center Mall is a good spot to meet a lot of females. Yep, Young Street. That's how you spell it. It's spelled crazy. Yep, Eaton Center is a good spot. Um, like the first time I went to Canada, I stayed up in the hotel room because, like I said, I kind of oh Stephanie, man, nah, what are you doing, Stephanie? You eating? What was popping? But yeah, anywhere downtown is cool. Um, I even ventured outside of downtown. I really wouldn't recommend that unless you know where you're going. But the first time, let me tell you all, the first time I went to Toronto, and I talk about this in my book as well, in my first book, From MySpace to My Place, The Men's Guide to Snag Women Online, also the book right here. Um, in this book, in my Vacation Mackin chapter, my favorite chapter, because this is something that, I learned this on the fly. And basically, in this whole chapter, in this book, great chapter, by the way. That was inspired by my first trip to Canada. So when I went up there for the first time, I really didn't know, what was cracking. But what I did was I actually asked a lot of questions. I went on MySpace, Black Planet, a lot of different websites, Plenty of Fish, and I would just ask questions like, "See, I knew Steffi was eating. How did I know that?" So thank you, Princess. I appreciate that. So yeah. So I went when I went up there for the first time. Um, I really didn't know what was cracking, so I would ask a bunch of questions. I would just say, what's going on in the area, what's popping, do you know how to get to, or how, same questions I was asking Renee, how did they look at American guys and all that stuff. And a lot of the females up there, like, I would send one note, and a lot of times the females would send me their number. With other females, I had to use a little bit of game. The game, again, is in this book. FLYstream.com. You can download it 2 nights, or you can actually order the paperback. All right. So basically, yeah, like that's how I would do it. I would just ask females questions, and I was able to work it in there like that. And when I first got to Toronto, I drove the first time I went. When I got there, I checked in. I was at the Delta Chelsea Really Fly Hotel downtown. And when I got there, I remember, first of all, I had about like 25 females that I had met before my trip. Because I'm like, I just want to, I want to meet up with like maybe 2 or 3. So I'm figuring like they're going to flake out. So I had all 25. I had them on PowerPoints. Matter of fact, the way I organize females, it's in the book as well. But you can't really see that graphic too well. But the way I organize females is like this. And this is an exclusive. This is in the book. All right. I would organize, Stephanie. I had to listen. Stephanie, see, this is what guys need to know, right? And Good Gator. Now, Good Gator, are you a male or a female? I had to organize females, cause listen. Okay, Good Gator. All right. So, Good Gator, where are you from? Are you from Florida? Is that why they call you Gator? Good Gator Walls. What does that mean? California. All right. So you're from Cali. All right. Well, listen, look, and guys know this. When we meet females in the club, right? For instance, and I talk about this in my books as well. You meet a female in the club. Let's say I meet Good Gator, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm putting Good Gator in the phone. All right. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just pick a name, all right? So let's say I meet Stephanie in the club, and I'm like, all right, I met Stephanie, and I meet a Tiffany, and then I happen to meet another girl named Stephanie, which always happens when I'm at the club. 5 girls will be named the same thing, some won't, whatever, right? I don't remember who these females are when I go home. So by the time I'm home, I'm like, Stephanie, was that Stephanie from the bar? Or was that Stephanie from the lounge on Saturday? Or was that Stephanie from Whole Foods on Sunday? You can't remember. So what I always do, I'm trying to think of an example, because I don't have any. I mean, I have numbers here, but I'm not showing the phone number. I'm just showing the name. So for instance, and this was a couple of years ago, I still have this chick in the phone, right? So let's say, let me pick a common name. Say, okay. So I have Tamara in the phone, right? See how it says CA Tamara? I met Tamara in Toronto, in Canada. So I put CA in front of it so that I know that her name is Tamara. You know what I mean? So I help people, I do it that way. So, but with the internet, it was a whole different beast, because I meet like 20, 30 females, and I'm like, all right, how do I organize these females? So this is the way I would do it. I would actually use PowerPoint. And I talk about this in my books as well. It's on organizing all the women that you meet. So this is an example. Check this slide out. See, so like on one side of the PowerPoint, and I am dropping game. I can't help it. Hey, whatever, man. But look, you still need to get these books. But on one side of the PowerPoint, you have the female's pictures, right? You have her pictures. And I even talk about this in the ladies guide as well. This isn't exclusive to the guys, so Gator, because I also have the ladies guide for you as well. The ladies guide, I got the same thing up in the ladies guide as well. Because there are a lot of you ladies who are looking for a Mr. Right now. So see the ladies guide. It's in here too. You know what I mean? You have age, his number, whether he's Mr. Right or Mr. Right now, interesting facts about him. So it's for everybody. But if you go through it this way, and I'm doing that to get the light right. But if you meet guys, if you meet a lot of guys, if you meet a lot of ladies, you know what I mean? This is the way you kind of remember everybody. You remember how they look. You remember certain facts about them. So, for instance, if he or she says her birthday, then, and I'll go from my perspective. So if she has a birthday and, it's coming up, I might put in that PowerPoint slide and I'll remember it. I'll know how to refer to it. So that's how you do. Yeah, exactly. Virgin freak. Exactly. So Stephanie, so you be like Benz or Camry, so what, you're ranking dudes by what they're driving? Crazy, man. Do you include things that stick out about them during sex? Gator, I have. But that's getting into my personal business, so never mind. But you can put anything in there. And usually the bottom section of the PowerPoint slide, the notes section, you can actually put you can put the whole conversation that you guys had. So if you still kind of forget after looking at that, you can go down for the details. So, again, I explain that in these books. Like, that's why these books are so deep. Very, very deep stuff. I'm not here just trying to sell you on the books, even though I am. I gotta eat. But at the same time, though, like, these books are really good for that, for the ladies' guide as well. Now, what a lot of people don't know, I've had a lot of females, I'm telling you, these are the first two books, right? Universal game in both of these books. They're for all websites. This book more so, the ladies' guide, I also talk about Facebook in here as well. This book was actually written just last year. This book I didn't, which is why I had to supplement it with this book. All right, so there's 3 books, but the ladies' guide, ladies, is very, very key and important. If you guys didn't see my interview with Joy Daly last week, I actually convinced her to go ahead and read this book, because she was just basically saying there are no good men out there. But I was like, look, there are. You just have to know if you're looking for Mr. Right or Mr. Right now. This book is fly because you're able to spot the 25 different types of men, different kinds of men. So you have thugs and criminals, you have liars, how to tell if you're dealing with one of these guys. And this has to do with the internet or whatever. And then you have multiple baby daddy dudes, perverted men, tricks, men on the down low, how to deal with big men. So how to deal with homies like Taz. Not to say that it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just how to deal with them, right? How to deal with true to the game players versus liars. You know what I mean? You got how to deal with lovers, mama's boys, and softies. Because there's a lot of them out there. And if any one of my gentlemen who are watching this, if you're a softie, you have to man up. Because like Renee was telling y'all earlier, you'll have to get your stuff together. You know what I mean? Because females ain't really checking for you. So I go through all of that. How to tell, who they are just based on their profile. If he's a little soft, how you go through it. Also how to step your game up.